Dana came out, he was talking about Khabib, and Dana said, I've been talking to Khabib. We've been on the phone, and I personally don't think that, I don't think he's done. I think Dana even said I think he'll do one more. Dana may not have even limited it at one more. He just said, I don't think he's done. And by the way, he also added at the end, Khabib is still our champion. Not being stripped. I'm not convinced this is real. Well, it does make you wonder, when is somebody retired? I mean, in all fairness, and it's not just MMA related, Brett Favre has been retired more than a NASCAR, right? It's just something you say, like in between each fight, whatever you're doing in that little layoff, I guess is a little mini retirement. And then if you say it out loud, it's like a medium-sized retirement, but you can't have your comeback fight until you leave the sport first. It's just one of these things. When are you retired? That's all I'm asking. I took Khabib at his word. I thought he was done. I thought he was walking away. But I know that Dana has a good feel for this too, so that's why we're having the conversation. When are you retired? And I'll give you my answer. I'll give you what I think. When a guy leaves the pool, I'm talking about the USADA pool, just because getting back into it is a pain in the ass. So when a guy leaves the pool, he has to actually take some steps to remove himself, and that's when I chalk him up to retired. Henry Cejudo, just by example, gave his belt away, said he was retired, and then gave his belt away, which changes his contract completely. Sure makes you think he's retired, but I don't believe that Henry left the pool. Now, I might have to check that one. But that was always the thing for me. If Henry leaves the pool, that's when we really know that he's exiting, he's exiting stage left. So that's the question. When is a guy actually retired? Khabib now is still the champion. How long is that going to be? Because that changes a lot of things that we've been predicting over here too, right? How long does Khabib get to have that belt before he has to go and commit and sign to his next fight? Which, by the way, doesn't appear that that's going to have to be anytime soon, considering Conor and Poirier, who's got to be considered a number one contenders match, isn't even until next year. January of next year, but it's still not until next year. Who's available? Tony Ferg, always a good option. Chandler matters. Can't dismiss Gaethje, though that one just happened. That's not going to happen for Khabib. I'm just saying for you, if Khabib was to come back right now, who would Khabib fight? I seem to believe the rumors that Tony and Chandler are going to find each other soon. So you have the Tony Chandler fight, you have the Conor Poirier fight. If you don't throw the belt on one of those fights or advertise and market those fights as number one contenderships in and of themselves, like a semifinal, winner takes on the winner for the belt. If you don't do that because you're leaving the belt around Khabib's waist, you better be pretty sure he's coming back or you're missing an opportunity. It's all that I'm suggesting for you. So I would like to know what you guys think, and Khabib would certainly have the right to change his mind. I don't want to box him in when I use words like, I take him at his word. I mean that to be a compliment. When Khabib has told us something, it's turned out to be what's happened. Khabib has the right to change his mind. He just hasn't done it yet. So I'm using history as my greatest trajectory for the future, and when it has to do with Khabib, when he makes a statement, it ends up playing out that way. So it is kind of interesting, right? It is kind of interesting because, again, if you were to compare it to Henry, Dana was really clear. I'm going to listen to you. You take your time. I'm in Florida. Flying back to Vegas, though, in 4 days. Take a day off. I'm going to go into the office, have a matchmakers meeting. I'm going to make a match at 135 for the title. That's for the vacant title. That's for your next opponent, Henry. But that's kind of how long you have to tell me. Dana has now said, well, I think he's going to fight, and I'm not taking that belt away. He hasn't lost the belt, and I don't know that he's fully retired. So I just think we have something to talk about here. And I think that Khabib is likely having something to talk about with himself and with his own team and with his own family, and maybe we don't know. Maybe we don't know, but it does make a very interesting wrinkle for all of the predictions that Conor versus Poirier would be for the belt. At least for now. Okay, this can all change very quickly, at least for right now, though. It puts a wrinkle in that. Not to mention Chandler and Ferguson. What do you do there? Those are 4 killers right there. You got 4 killers fighting, nothing on it. I don't know if we've ever had a time in history we've had 4 guys as good as the 4 guys I just named. Tony, Chandler, Poirier, Conor. Got nothing on it? That would surprise me. How much time does Khabib have? I'm asking you. When will you guys believe, when should we believe that Khabib is actually retired? For me, when he leaves the pool.